Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video, so I thought that I would do this, and it's easier to update people on who are following me and what's going on than message people individually, and it's just a little too much, and I feel like I get behind, and then I don't inform the important people, the important people. No, I don't want to mean like important people, but I don't. I feel like some people slip through the cracks. So I thought it would just be easier, and I do post on Facebook, very little on Instagram, but this thing is sticking out. Anyway, so it's just a little easier to kind of go over the next phase of this treatment in my breast cancer. So anyway, I'm day 5 into my Taxotere, which was my 7th treatment. We had it delayed because some of y'all know because I had some severe side effects. So my doctor gave me a little bit of a breather, and he also upped some of my meds and gave me some hand cream for my hands, and they're much better. I'm able to kind of control that. You can still see some of the redness, but I mean, you would never know. If I hadn't told you, you would never know. So that's much better. That's controlled. The water retention is controlled. I lost almost 15 pounds. It was amazing. I knew yesterday. Val told me, he goes, "Yeah, your head, he says your neck and your face like this." And well, I didn't really see that, but I felt it. I felt it in my entire body. I've never had that. So anyway, I'm feeling good, and today we are waiting for the real estate photographers to come to our house because we are eventually or soon, whenever we, at the time is right, list this house for sale. That was our plan before I got diagnosed. And so now that we're moving toward the phase of out of chemo and into surgery and then eventually radiation, probably in the fall, we can start making some short-term-ish plans and kind of get back on track. Because the plan is for us to move to Sargent and at our beach house down there. We haven't been there since my last treatment because I didn't want to go anywhere until I knew I was feeling good. But anyway, we have moved some stuff there, but in the meantime, we'll kind of keep 2 houses, 2 residences, and we'll just see what happens. You cannot, in real estate, I'm a real estate agent as well. You guys probably may or may not know that. And I'm going to list this house. We've staged it. I've worked really, really hard. And so they're going to do some nice work. I'm not a real estate photographer. I'm a portrait, wedding, boudoir, pet, whatever. But I don't have any of that equipment, and so I leave that honestly to the pros, and they're going to do an amazing job. So I'm looking forward to what they do. They're going to do a really nice walkthrough and a video, and then I think hopefully we'll list this house. I'm thinking, I don't know, May-ish, closer to the end of May, right before school lets out, and because this is a very oh, my dogs are driving me crazy. Anyway, I'll just leave her alone. So needy. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna do that. In the meantime, I so yesterday I had my probably final mammogram and ultrasound, and as you guys might have seen on the Facebook page, the tumor is shrinking. I don't know the size. But it has responded to the chemo, and that's a really good thing. My lymph nodes are clear. The surgeon won't know, or we won't know until he actually takes a biopsy in surgery. But so far, all those signs are pointing really good. And I really needed that good news yesterday because yesterday, both Val and I were just we were wringing our hands, probably feeling the weight of this whole diagnosis I've been going through treatment and going, and it's been like one appointment to the other, and then all of a sudden, sometimes you hit a wall. You go, wow, what is really happening to me? It's really happening, and it's not that I've been in denial. I've just been in like my normal type A, let's get this done kind of mode. Let's get this taken care of, because that's how I always do things. Anytime I have a task or I have something that I need to do, okay, this is what we're going to do. So now we're closer to the end of the chemical aspect of the treatment, and then we're going to move into a new phase. So that's a whole nother mental gymnastics that I'm going to have to go through. But I'm actually pretty okay about it. I feel good, which is a good thing, and that helps. It helps my mood a lot. When I don't feel good, that is, you can see I'm all pink and blinged out from my friend Ashley. But I love this hat; it's really comfy. So yeah, so we did that. We got that good news, and that's encouraging. So now the plan is I have met with my plastic surgeon already. I have met with the radiologist. I have met with I have met with my surgical oncologist, and then I will have another heart scan this the end of this week to clear for surgery. And I did have some blood work done, and those came back good. So my heart doesn't look like it's been damaged from the adriamycin, and that's always the concern. Yeah, so I'll have that, and then when we see my surgical oncologist on Monday the 6th, we'll have all the information gathered for him, and then he's going to make that determination about when we're going to do surgery. He has to work on, and I think he told me at our last visit that he may even have a date for me by the time we see each other on the 6th. So that would be good, and it's probably a look for surgery toward the end of June, I'm thinking, because they want me to have time to recover from the chemo and have my blood cells, my blood count go up, and my blood counts have been really low. And so, despite feeling good, I'm still being tampered by the chemo. So anyway, they want those to come up. They want me to feel good. They want me to be strong when I go into to surgery, because it's major surgery. What we're going to do is we're going to do a double mastectomy. I have already decided, actually, from the very start, I'm not going to mess around with a lumpectomy for a lot of reasons. But one of them is that I don't feel comfortable just doing a lumpectomy, because there was so much of the tumor and maybe some areas that they weren't exactly sure if it was cancer, that they're just going to mutilate me if they carve it out. And there's no way to reconstruct that. So I'm going to have a double mastectomy, because I want to be even, and hopefully they can spare my skin. It just depends on where the tumor is. On the right side, where there's no cancer, it's basically just like getting an implant. They just will take everything out, which is weird. I can't even imagine, but it's not a breast. It's not cosmetic. I don't want anybody ever to think that I'm getting a boob job in it. I mean, I'm getting implants to reconstruct myself, to reconstruct what will be taken away from me. And I want to be clear about that. And somebody, oh, you're getting a boob job, you're getting a tummy tuck. No, I mean, maybe yes, they'll take some tissue from my stomach to help to fat graft, and because it's not a one-off thing. When you have the surgery, basically it's the first thing they do the mastectomy, and then right away, plastic surgeon is working behind the scenes to be ready to do the implants, and we'll do that. So I wake up with they call them foobs, fake boobs, but it is not a boob job, and I'll really be pissed off if people tell me that, because I mean I can think of other ways to have a boob job, honestly. But the fortunate thing is that years ago I had a breast lift, and they do what's called a lollipop incision. So according to my plastic surgeon, they can use that scar to do the mastectomy, and they can use that scar to put my implants. Now that's all going to be depending on the surgical oncologist, because he's really the one that's going to make the call. And whatever he says is fine with me. But if they can do that, that's actually pretty cool, because I already have the scars, and I won't have the horizontal scars around my boobs. I might even be able to save my nipples. It is just all going to depend on how close that tumor is. If it's too close, they'll have to take some of the nipple out, make sure that the margins are good, and then the plastic surgeon said that she can reconstruct the nipple. So anyway, it's all good news. I'm very happy. You probably saw that my um, plastic surgeon is a veteran of the Air Force, and she's very no nonsense, straightforward. I like that, and also, which is what I wanted. I just don't want to prolong surgery. I have things that we want to do. So anyway, that's the plan for the surgery, and then I rest for 6 weeks, obviously, or so. Cannot travel for at least 30 days. I'll have to get clearance for that. And then have a little break, and then hopefully start radiation in the fall. And the radiation is, I wasn't sure if I was going to have radiation. And it's kind of iffy because I love this radiation oncologist because, I can read people pretty well. Again, she's wringing her hands and she's like, well, it's this and your numbers came back here and it's that. And I'm like already in my mind going, you know what, listen, let's just do it, because what they do is they do a chart, or they do like a graph, and it's like if you're up here, I mean, above here, radiation check. But if you're here, but if you're down here, so all of my like tumor markers, the aggressiveness of the tumor, the oncotype, which shows the before treatment, the chance of recurrence. There's another one, KI67, that was high. So all of those genetic markers of the tumor came back high, and the fact that it was so aggressive. And so, and also the size, because there was the size of the tumor, and then on the MRI, they showed that there was another area of suspicion. They weren't exactly sure what it was, right? So, but because of all of that, but it just measured under 5 centimeters, the whole mass, and it had to be 5 centimeters to go radiation. So it's like 4.6, or maybe it was 5. Anyway, I have lost track sometimes, but and I'll be corrected, I'm sure. But the point is that it was just too close, And what they do is with radiation, they basically just go in and it's kind of preventive, or to help to clean up any microscopic cancer cells that might have attached to my chest wall. Now, you don't know. We hope. I hope not. I can say I can say at the end of the day that I'm going to do everything I can to treat this and make the best decisions for myself and for my husband and for my family and for my future, going forward, and for my health and welfare. And so I told her, listen, we're going to do it because it's just too close. And I would always have that in the back of my mind, like, should I have done it? Why didn't I do it? And, I'm going to be on estrogen blockers anyway. That's already a given. But still, it's like if the treatment is presented to me like that, so that will happen. And that's a 3-week radiation schedule. I will do the radiation 5 days a week for 3 weeks, and it's a short course, but it's an intense course. It's possible there's some side effects, of course, to radiation. I could have a burn. I could have sores. I will feel tired, they say. I will, possible that skin is lifted a little more, a little bit higher, and it might always be that way. And it's a cumulative effect. So that's where the plastic surgeon comes back in, and we make some tweaks. If we have to do some adjustments on the implants or the skin, do some fat grafting, some skin grafting to help to replace that with healthy tissue which has been damaged from the radiation. And one of the things that you guys may not know is that there's a Breast Cancer Treatment Act, and I don't know what date it is. Basically, health insurance companies have to cover any and all breast cancer treatment. And that is like amazing, So for the rest of my life, I will have a breast cancer diagnosis, but whatever I need to do if I need to have a revision, the implants are too big, I want to take them out, I have an issue, well, it's covered. And that gives me a lot of peace of mind. And that's what insurance is for, is major stuff like this. So this is this is a good thing, and these are positive steps to get me back into, as we call, survivorship. And then it's all over. And then, well, it's not all over. I'll still have repeat visits with my oncologist. I'm sure. We haven't talked yet about that. The medication for the estrogen blockers, the other things that maybe he has in mind for me. So, uh, I haven't seen the last of him, and that's going to be probably for 5 years. So I will have to stay close, no matter where I am, to uh, a medical facility to be able to get those things done. And hopefully I can come back to San Antonio, which is where my people are. I'll come back to San Antonio. Even if we live in Sargent, I can still come and get my treatment. So I will just have to work that out. I don't know how that works out with insurance, but or whatever. But anyway, so there's some good things on the horizon, but then there's survivorship, and I haven't quite yet come to that. And I talked about that last night. Then it's all of a sudden you're standing there at this abyss, and there you go. You're back out here. You're back out into the world. As long as you're in treatment, you're feeling good, or you're like, okay, I'm getting it done. I'm in treatment. I'm in treatment. I'm getting it done. But then it's done, and then what? So then, okay, go live your life. Well, yes, but no. Things kind of have changed a little bit. So that's up to me to make that how I'm going to deal with that. I won't fall into a depression, but it will be like, okay, it's always where if you plan a trip, it's kind of like planning a trip. And say you plan a trip for a long time, and you plan it and plan it and plan it, and part of the well, this is not fun what I'm going through, but part of the pre-fun is planning the trip and thinking about it and thinking about the trip. And then you go on the trip, and then you enjoy the trip, and then you come back. And if you don't have, and I've always been that way, if you don't have something planned later, then it's like, oh, wow, now what do I do? So that's kind of how that's gonna that's why we're moving forward with putting this house up for sale, for doing those kind of things that we had already planned to do, because otherwise then it's just like, what am I going to do, sit here in Spring Branch where there's nothing here for me? No, that's not going to happen. And then so and then for now we're probably going to bring the horses. I have a barn in Angleton. I have a friend who has a barn. I'm not ready to make a decision on my horse yet, and that's fine. I can bring him, and we'll just see what happens. I'm not ready to sell him. I'm not ready to. I'm not emotionally ready for that goodbye yet. Maybe one day I will. Right now I'm not. That's okay. We'll bring him. We'll bring both of them. We'll bring Rio and Wiley, and the barn is about 30 miles. No, sorry, 30 minutes from Sargent, and it's a great barn. She's got a fantastic arena, and then she also does. She has a group that comes in that does some veteran rehab. Like veterans come in and ride some of the horses, and I love that. Therapy. I guess I don't know the name of it, but of course I love that idea. But we'll just see. We'll get the boys there, and then we'll get settled. And in the meantime, we have some other things planned, which I will not say right now. Some of y'all may know, but I won't say. But that's enough. I think that's plenty on our plates. I desperately want to go to the Netherlands. We have a grandson that we haven't met. His name is Julian. He's so cute, and Emmy is getting big, and she's two. She's two, going to be 2.5, almost 3. She'll be 3 this year in December. And but Anna and Don are very great. They send me pictures of them all the time, and I can see them growing. But it's very it pulls at my heartstrings to want to go see them, and because the idea was we were going to meet Julian after he was born, and then we couldn't travel. So anyway, my hope is that I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, all of this is I always say I don't know, but because it's really hard to just make any firm plans. But my hope is that we'll have that surgery date um, uh, when we see Dr. Kallenberg, my surgeon, and then maybe we can plan a trip to the Netherlands in the in August, when I'm cleared to travel from my plastic surgeon. So that will also be up to her. So that's why I cannot make any definite plans. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. By that time, I should be. I wanted to squeeze a trip in between chemo and surgery. And Val's looking at me like he didn't even say anything when I said that. Last night I'm laughing. And he knows me so well, but there's just no way. I mean, why put that pressure on me? To take a 9-hour trip across the ocean and have to. I'm already tired from doing this video. By the end of these pictures today, I'm going to be exhausted. So I know I'll be tired, and just don't put that pressure. There's no reason for me to put that pressure on myself. And that's stupid. So yeah, so that's kind of the outlook, and I think that so at the beginning when I started to do these videos, I thought that I would do more during the treatment, to be honest with you, but I haven't felt like it. I've just been so occupied with getting through it and especially those first 4 treatments were fairly rough, but I handled it. But those last 2 treatments of the new chemo Taxotere really screwed me up, and so I just didn't feel like it. So he did also lower the dose. I forgot to mention that a little by 25%. So that's good, and so that's not going to affect my cancer, but it just helps with the side effects. And I can see the difference, and I feel the difference, and Vat sees the difference, which is good. So I'll be able to sail through this one pretty easy, and then the next one I should have no problems with. So that gives me, phew. But going back to, I think what I was saying was that this, of course, all this stuff, when you have a life-threatening disease, which is what this is, life-threatening, it could kill me if I hadn't treated it. It still could. One day it comes back, and we hope not. But the reality is that well, that's part of this, is that you have to be prepared for that, and hopefully by that time, if that were to happen to me by that time, the treatments are such where they treat it, and they even do treat it now as a chronic disease, and so that's good. But then you're always in treatment anyway. But we're not there yet. I don't have to worry about that. That's not even something. But what I was going to say was that we've had a lot of time, Vat and I, to talk about our future and goals and things that we wanted to do and we want to do, and things that my thing is that, that's what I go back to saying, what am I going to do, sit here in Spring Branch? There's nothing here in Spring Branch for me at all. I mean, my life is obviously with my husband, and we have plans. And I say that if you can go and do something that I'm not going to say, well, feed your heart, but some of the things that we want to do, people are going to think like, you're crazy. Oh my God, but what are we going to do? 10 years from now, we're going to be like, why didn't we do it? We're healthy. We feel good. So just do it. Just get out there and live your life. I'm going to take up roller skating. How stupid is that? I'm 62 years old, but I really want to do it. I see these videos of people in roller rinks. And I mean, when I was in high school, I did that. I loved it. But the other reason is I need exercise, and I need exercise that is fun, because exercise is going to be a key important aspect of my recovery, because I have to exercise. I have to keep my body moving to prevent the cancer from coming back. So that is one thing that I think I can do that I like. Now, where I'm going to roller skate, I don't know, but I'll figure a way. But anything that kind of gets me moving is a good thing. The other thing is alcohol, no drinking. It's not to say that I will never have a drink again. I did drink. I don't say that the cancer was caused by alcohol, but cancer does fuel estrogen and fat cells. And that's the other thing, is that, get my BMI down, my fat, because then I have the least amount of fat cells in my body to help to fuel that estrogen, any lingering breast cancer. So there's health reasons, but there's reasons. So not to say that if I'm at a special function, I may have a glass of champagne every now and then, or a glass of wine, but I'm never going to drink like I did before. Those days are over. And also for my husband, and I'm happy for that. He feels better. He's very supportive of this, of course, and how we're going to handle that in social situations, because we've been kind of in this sort of bubble, and when we go out into a social or revisit people, but I think once we get over that, I've already found some sort of options, and my husband drinks non-alcoholic Guinness, and it's pretty good. He likes it, so that's good. And I have a bottle of non-alcoholic wine in my fridge, and I'm like, you know, we a lot of times every day we sit at the end of the day, and we used to sit and have a drink about night, and we would talk about our day, we would talk about what's going on, and different things. And now we don't have that, so we had to replace that. And so it's so which is a good thing. It wasn't so much about the alcohol, sitting and getting shit faced, but I did drink too much wine, and I did drink too much. I mean, I'll just put it right out there, flat out. But because it was just so nice just to sit there and talk, and yeah, I'll have another one, honey. I'll have a splash. That's pretty cool. I'll have a splash, and so yeah. But I have a diet ginger beer that I drink, and then I did get a Blue Moon um, uh, non-alcoholic beer, and that's not bad. It's pretty refreshing, and I like Blue Moon. I like the taste of it, so it still has the taste without the alcohol. So there are different ways that we can adjust it. But anyway, so those are things that I'm going to have to do for my health, and to make sure that I can do everything, that I don't have a reoccurrence. And so yeah, back to roller skating. Um, but do it. Get out there if you can, and don't. I always say a rut is like a grave. And you're just. I mean, I don't know. There's something about having a diagnosis like this that just completely changes your perspective. And not that I ever wish anybody uh, this. Never. Not even my worst enemy. I never do. I would never do that. I don't want to put that karma out there, but if you have anything to learn from me and from my story and from what I've been going through, and um, just know this: just go and take the bull by the horns and live your life, and whatever that looks like for you. And don't wait. As they say, tomorrow is not promised. We don't know. So don't wait. Just do it. What can you lose? Um, Nothing. um, Except regret. And then you go back and you go, oh shit, why didn't I try that? So anyway, that's my only oracle advice. I really have no advice beyond that. We're just otherwise. I'll wrap this up. It's 30 minutes. You've heard me babble plenty. I probably maybe have more to say. Oh, I started to blog, and I may take some of those Facebook posts that I've done, and I may turn that into a blog. But right now I'm just so busy, and I don't want to write. I don't feel like it. And I don't feel like putting that down right now. And I don't feel like revisiting it. I don't have that. I'm not like that. I'm not sentimental like that. So anyway, the blog is kind of on the back burner. But what I do want to say is that before I close this, I want to say thank you very much to all of my friends and out there who have supported me, sent me love, sent me things, sent me cards, sent me well wishes, following me, care about what's going on. It really humbles me. It's amazing, and it's something that uh, of course, you don't. It comes from the least places you don't expect it, but it's been really wonderful, and it really has helped to lift me through this, and hopefully you'll continue to do that, because I still have more to go. So we will do it together, and I will do it. And then the other thing is, I have to say, I couldn't have done this without my husband. That has been my rock, and he has been there for me steady Eddie every single moment, and without fail. And he knows I love him, and crazy about him. So, but I'm very, 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 very thankful for him. He's been great. So, and he will continue to do so. And I look forward to a very long and happy life with him. So, anyway, for now, I'll say goodbye. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we will do this again soon, I guess, or whenever I feel like it. Anyway, see ya. Bye. Turn it off. Goodbye.